Ryan, if Mr. Corral gets back to you, we'll just set him after we get a response from the clerk's office.
Okay, sounds good.
Good morning, downtown.
Good morning, ma'am. How are you?
Good, thank you. Who do you have?
I have Mr. Orozco Javier.
Okay, is that the only one?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, as soon as his lawyer signs on, we'll be right with you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Annex.
Good morning.
Who's on Orozco?
I believe that one's Miss Yaldo's, Judge.
Okay, she just logged on. Miss Yaldo, are you with us?
Yes, I am, Judge. Good morning.
Good morning. Court calls the case of State of Texas versus Javier Orozco, cause number 2022-0C0 5477. This proceeding is being heard in reference to and in compliance with the emergency orders of the Texas Supreme Court and the Court of Criminal Appeals under various miscellaneous docket numbers regarding the COVID-19 state of disaster, the guidance issued by the Office of Court Administration and the El Paso Council of Judges statement to the attorneys of the El Paso Bar in response to coronavirus. May I have announcement of council?
Omar Silva for the state. We're ready to proceed, Your Honor.
Good morning, everyone. Ana Yeldo with the El Paso County Public Defender's Office here on behalf of Mr. Javier Orozco, also ready.
You are Javier Orozco.
Yes, ma'am.
Raise your right hand, sir. Solemnly swear affirm testimony you may give in this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you have, Miss Yaldo?
Thank you so much, Judge. Before we get started on my bond argument, I did want to make the court aware. Mr. Orozco advised me yesterday that he thinks he might have federal warrants or a federal hold. I did speak with Mr. Shelley. I wasn't able to see it. Can you see it, Judge?
I saw it on the pretrial report, and I don't remember if I saw it on the rap sheet as well. I believe I did. It
Okay.
shows that he may be on probation on a federal charge, and he was wanted for that.
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor. So I think that'll impact a little bit of how this hearing goes today. So Mr. Orozco advised me when I met with him yesterday, he would like to plead to this charge and to time serve.
Okay.
Now, I know that if he bonds out, that the state will likely lose jurisdiction of him and he'll go to the feds. And I'm sure he wants to deal with his state charge and just get it over with. So I'm prepared to make a full bond argument right now. Or if not, Judge, perhaps we can set him for a plea sometime next week. If Mr. Silva would be willing to offer a time serve on this charge, because he does have the federal charges that he was on probation for. I believe it was the an alien smuggling charge.
Correct.
I wasn't
Silva?
sure.
Excuse me. Mr. Silva, are you willing to offer that?
Yes, Your Honor. And I can, after I can send the plea papers out today.
All right. If you can get them signed up, Miss Yaldo, they can take the plea at the jail magistrate, because next Thursday we won't have jail hearings.
Of course, absolutely. Next Thursday is a holiday, so yes. I will call the jail magistrate this morning. Mr. Silva, thank you so much. If you don't mind sending those over whenever you can. And Mr. Orozco, I'll head out to either if you're at the jail or at the annex, I'll fill them out with you sometime before next week, okay?
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah, you got it. Judge, that's it for me. Thank you so much for entertaining this. I really do appreciate it.
All right. Have a good weekend, Miss Yaldo.
Thank you so much. You too, Judge. Take care. Well, I'll see you tomorrow, actually.
Okay, yes.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Downtown, thank you. If that's all you have, you may be excused.
Thank you,
Your
ma'am.
Honor.
Annex, may I have Mr. Vasquez?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Rihanna, if you'll contact the JMAG, Judge Acosta, and just ask him if they'll do any pleas, since we won't be able to do jail pleas next week, if they'll do any pleas on people who are going to get out of jail.
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. All right, court calls the case of the state of Texas versus Ernesto Vasquez, cause number 2022-0C01794. This proceeding is being heard in reference to and in compliance with the emergency orders of the Texas Supreme Court and the Court of Criminal Appeals under various miscellaneous docket numbers regarding the COVID-19 state of disaster, the guidance issued by the Office of Court Administration and the El Paso Council of Judges statement to the attorneys of the El Paso Bar in response to coronavirus. May I have announcement of council?
Good morning, Your Honor. Omar Silva for the state. We're ready to proceed.
And good morning, Judge Luis Yanez on behalf of Mr. Vasquez. We're also ready.
You are Ernesto Vasquez?
Yes, ma'am.
Raise your right hand, sir. Solemnly swear affirm testimony may give this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Charged for the offense of driving while intoxicated with a 0.15 below or above, alleged to occur July 2nd, 2021 in El Paso County, Texas. To those charges, sir, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Any priors, Mr. Silva?
Your Honor, just the DWI that was dismissed through PTD in 2011.
Okay. That being the case, the court will turn that off, please. Court will follow the state's recommendation, find you guilty, Mr. Vasquez, sentence you to 75 days in jail plus court costs with credit for time served on everything. And your other case, cause number 2022-0C00369, will be dismissed. Anything further, counsel?
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
And Your Honor, just so we're clear, the record and the record will reflect Mr. Vasquez had a felony case that's also being dismissed as part of this plea agreement. I know that plea agreement was made in the felony court, and that's maybe why it's not included in the papers, but I just want the record to reflect that.
Okay, thank you. You may be excused. May I
Thank
have Mr. Lee, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right here.
Court calls the cases of the state of Texas versus Michael, that's Mikhal Lee, cause numbers 2022-0C0-1911, 2022-0C0-1096, 2022-0C0-1112, 2019-0C0-7374, 2019-0C0-7705, 2019-0C0-7710, 2019-0C0-7712. This proceeding is being heard in reference to and in compliance with the emergency orders of the Texas Supreme Court and the Court of Criminal Appeals under various miscellaneous docket numbers regarding the COVID-19 state of disaster. The guidance issued by the Office of Court Administration and the El Paso Council does a statement to the attorneys of the El Paso Bar in response to coronavirus. May I have announcement of counsel?
Good morning, Your Honor. Omar Silva for the state. We're ready.
And Luis Yanez appearing on behalf of Mr. Rago, representing Mr. Lee this morning, Your Honor, we're ready.
You are
Alejandra-
Lee. I'm sorry.
I was
Go
just going
ahead.
to say, Alejandra Navarrete with adult probation.
Thank you. Sorry that I skipped you. You are Michael Lee.
Yes, ma'am.
Raise your right hand, sir. Solemnly swear or affirm testimony you may give in this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Are you a U.S. citizen, Mr. Lee?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we'll start off with the three new cases charged with the awful offense of unlawful restraint, assault, family violence, and interference with an emergency call, all alleged to have occurred February 16, 2022 in El Paso County, Texas. To those charges, sir, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Any priors other than the ones he's on probation for, Mr. Silva?
No, Your Honor.
Court will follow the state's recommendation, find you guilty, Mr. Lee, sentence you to 120 days in jail plus court costs with credit for time served. 3 cases are to run concurrent with each other. Now, on these 2019 cases, are you the same Michael Lee that was placed on community supervision for unlawfully carrying a weapon, 2 burglary of vehicles, and 1 discharge of a firearm on October 22nd, 2020 out of this court?
Yes, ma'am.
On the cause number ending in 7374, is that your signature on the judgment there, sir?
Right here, Mr. Lee.
Yes, ma'am.
On the cause number ending in 7705, is that your signature on that judgment?
Right here, Mr. Lee.
Yes.
Cause number 7710, is that your signature there?
Right here, Mr. Lee.
Yes.
And lastly, on cause number 7712, is that your signature there?
Right here, Mr. Lee.
Yes.
Okay. Paragraph 2 of the motions to revoke allege that you committed an assault, family violence, February 16, 2022. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
That next paragraph alleges the unlawful restraint. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
Following one alleges the interference with an emergency call. True?
Yes, ma'am.
Following one says you failed to report October 2021. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
Failed to report November 2021. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
Failed to report January 2022. True?
Yes, ma'am.
Didn't complete your NCTI class within 90 days. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
Didn't complete the firearm safety class within 90 days. True?
Yes, ma'am.
Failed to pay your community supervision fees. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
Failed to pay restitution. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
And lastly, failed to pay your court-ordered financial obligations. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that you are one and the same Michael Lee that was placed on community supervision on these 4 cases, October 22nd, 2020, out of this court, that the terms and conditions of your supervision were lawful and reasonable, and paragraphs 2 through 12 of the motions to revoke are true. At this time, the court will follow the state's recommendation, find you guilty, sentence you to 120 days plus court costs with credit for time served on everything, and these cases run concurrent with everything you had. And going back to the assault family violence, the court will also make a family violence finding on that case. That's 2022-0C0-1096. Anything further, counsel?
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
Nothing further from us, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. You may be excused.
Thank you.
Mr. Stevens, who are you on?
Good morning, Judge. I'm here for Jessica Freeman.
All right. May I have Ms. Freeman, please? The court calls the cases of the state of Texas versus Jessica Freeman. Cause numbers 2022-0C0-2269 and 2022-0C0-2268. This proceeding is being heard in reference to and in compliance with the emergency orders of the Texas Supreme Court and the Court of Criminal Appeals under various miscellaneous docket numbers regarding the COVID-19 state of disaster, the guidance issued by the Office of Court Administration and the El Paso Council of Judges statement to the attorneys of the El Paso Bar in response to coronavirus. May I have announcement of counsel?
Good morning, Your Honor. Omar Silva for the state. We're ready.
And Brent Stevens for Miss Freeman. We are ready.
You are Jessica Freeman?
Yes, ma'am.
Raise your right hand. Solemnly swear affirm testimony may give this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen, Ms. Freeman?
Yes, ma'am.
Charged with the offense of criminal mischief alleged, or 2 offenses of criminal mischief alleged to occur June 20th, 2022 in El Paso County, Texas. To those charges, how do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Court will follow the state's recommendation, find you guilty, sentence you to 3 days plus court costs with credit for time served on everything. 2 cases run concurrent with each other. Anything further, ma'am? Counsel.
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
Nothing from the defense, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brent. You may be excused.
Thank you, Judge.
So I guess that wraps up our jail docket. So everybody may be excused. My people, I will see you all tomorrow.
Sounds
Thank you.
good, Judge.